One of the things I love about the New Testament letters is the way that the writers just greet so many people. Obviously, the church in the first century was incredibly relational. And when I look into the letter that Paul wrote to Rome, I'm particularly amazed because he hadn't even been there. And yet there are so many people he lists. And some of them we can recognize from his previous journeys. So for example, in verse 3 of Romans 16, it says, "Greet Priscilla and Aquila, my fellow workers in Christ Jesus." Now we know that Paul actually met Aquila and Priscilla in Corinth. He ended up living with them, tent making alongside them, sharing his vision, sharing his strategies with them. So much so that they not only supported him in Corinth, but then actually were placed by him in Ephesus so that they could lay the groundwork for that incredible period of ministry that he had there. And then when he's looking at going to Rome, it seems like he must have sent them on ahead of him to do the same kind of thing, to lay that kind of groundwork. And what I love is that he describes them, and I love the fact that sometimes Priscilla appears before Aquila. There's an equality about this couple that you don't normally find. You normally would expect the man to be mentioned first, and sometimes he is. But I love it. Aquila, this eagle-like person, because that's what his name means, and Priscilla, this incredible woman who God uses. And when he says greet Priscilla and Aquila, he calls them my fellow workers in Christ Jesus. And that's what I want to take away from this, that we need one another. The more I journey in the Lord, the more I realize I need fellow workers. And fellow workers in Christ Jesus, so that we're not only dependent upon one another, but that dependency is sort of sealed as an interdependency within the context of our dependence on the Lord himself. So let's be grateful in our hearts for the people that God has put around us in his wisdom, and to realize that we're not doing all of this on our own, but we have fellow workers in Christ Jesus whom we don't only greet, but need to recognize and respect and encourage.